Hello guys, welcome to CloudRaga. So in previous video we talked about how to generate primary keys in Hibernate, and that's how we do this. At generated value we have to pick a strategy and use identity for MySQL database and done. You don't have to manually pass your primary keys. We never do that in our projects. So you can see this code is commented and still it's working. Okay, in today's video, we'll talk about this feature, hbm2ddl.auto. It stands for Hibernate Mapping to Data Definition Language. So this affects the schema structure. So let's check out here. It automatically validates or exports schema DTL to the database when the session factory is created. So this is critical thing here, session factory. So we have seen this session factory as a root tag here, and we have seen the same session factory when we are trying to do this whole stuff here. The first thing we get in our Hibernate code is session factory. How to do that? By using this session factory method. I have already discussed this thing, what this method can do. So please refer my previous videos. Okay, so let's come back to the topic. So HBM to DDL auto feature. So we can pass like four options there. We have four options there like validate, update, create, and create drop. We have used update. So I have already given like like overview what this can do. So let's pick the validate because we cannot see that programmatically the effect, but we'll try to do that. So let's start with the first, the create. Okay, so I'm going back to my code, and there I'll change this update to create. Okay, that's the only thing I have to do, and then I will run my previously written code, this one. So run as application, and let's see the console. So check out, I have mentioned create. What happens? Hibernate drops the previously written entity classes if it is there. How does it know that it has student DB, TB, and vehicle class? All because from the mapping. So we have mapped two entity classes, so it drops the previously written or created entity class and then recreate them from the scratch and then insert query, all because we have a save method inside our tester file there, session.savestudent. And if we check them, its impact, so refresh all student tb, and there's one record, and vehicle table was recreated by the Hibernate, so it's empty. So that's the impact of create. It drops the previous entity classes and recreate the table and then do the stuffs. Okay, what if we do update? As the name says, update, it just verifies the structure. It won't create. If it is not there, it will create. If it is there, so it will go with the flow and check out what kind of operation has to do. So in our tester class, we are just trying to do save. So these records will get reinserted with new primary key. Okay, so I just did what? Just change it to update. Let's go back to tester class. This is the previous code. We're going to run this again. So Hibernate detects. So now we are trying to use update, and you can see no create or drop commands, just insert. So one more row gets inserted here. Going back to database, this is student table, and if I refresh, one more row with ID 2. Okay, so update simply updates. It won't drop the table. What happens if you pick create drop? Okay, this will do some crazy stuff. So let's see when we use create drop with auto update. So run this code again. We have two entities, student table and vehicle class. Okay, so yep, much more content we have here. So it starts with dropping all the previously written entity classes, all because we have picked create. Okay, then creates them from the scratch, then insert one entry, all because of that save method we are trying to do here. So it saves the student record, but check what happens next. It drops them again, all because we have create and drop. But drop has a condition. The condition says that you should be explicitly closing the session factory and session things, and that we are doing here. There it is, line 26 and 27. We are trying to close the session and factory, and because of that it drops the tables. That means it drops the previous written classes, create them, insert them, and as again it drops the table back. So if I go back and if I refresh my database, right click, refresh all, it's gone. Nothing is there. These are from previous impression. So we are back to blank database. So that's the impact of create drops. The condition is if you are closing them. If I won't close and leave this configuration create drop and go back to tester, right click, run as application. So this time it will definitely create, drop, then create, then insert, but it won't drop it back because we have not closed the session. And if I check to database, right click, refresh all, yep, we have record, one record, and vehicle blank. We are not saving anything inside vehicle. So if I try this again, so again it will drop the table, create them, and then insert the record. That's how create drop works. And validate simply validates the structure. Validate. So if I run this code in the same execution, so it will validate the structure as per the table, columns from the Java columns to the table, Java fields to Java columns, table columns, and there is insert record. And if I refresh for student table, one more record, what we sorted. So just validate acts like a table, but if you try to create one more entity, it won't create it because it just validates. So usually when it comes to our application, we always try to use update. This is the best solution for us if you are in a development mode. So that's it for the hbm2ddl feature. So typically we use update, and if we are using create drop, this is mostly for early development, or if you're performing some test cases or QA guys, we can do this with testing. So they create and they drop, so nothing will be in databases. And validate simply validates the schema structures. It won't do any structure changes or schema changes, just validates, and if there's any operation like DML, it will do that. So that's it for this video guys. If you still have some question or query, please make sure you are writing in the comment section. Let's meet in next video. Bye bye.